Hi everyone, this is Shamin and I'm the Chief Digital Marketing Trainer and Consultant at Sky Digital Agency. And in today's video, I hope to share with you more about what is lead generation, specifically today for financial advisors. And if you are someone who needs to generate leads for your business, some of these contents are going to make more sense for you and help you understand what is the confusion that people commonly have with lead generation and therefore causing them more money in advertising, spending more money to generate leads for their business. And without further ado, let's get started. Firstly, let's define what is lead generation. Okay, so I got this from Wikipedia. Lead generation is the process of attracting leads, which are your potential customers, into a content management or a contact management system or some form of a software system to help you nurture them throughout the buying process and help convince them of your product offerings. Okay, so the key thing is that a lead does not mean that they are ready to purchase with you right there and then. All right. So when people are mixing up their marketing pitch on social media ads or any form of advertising, they are mixing it up with a lead and making a sales pitch. To get a lead, what I will do in my agency is that we'll create content like this, right, in the form of video, in the form of infographics, and will help you understand some of your pain points and some of the misconceptions in the hope that you will be interested in our course offerings. So that's one of the key things that we commonly mix it up. And let's look at the next definition I have. The purpose of lead generation describes the process of stimulating interest in a product or service for the purpose of developing a sales pipeline. Okay, so some of you, if this is the first time you're hearing this and this is new to you, basically at the point of time of generating a lead, if you're saying like, would you like to buy insurance or would you like to plan for your financial retirement or be financial savvy, right? These are kind of a very direct approach in selling a product or service. How you would like to do it is that you would like to invite them to download a book on 8 ways to retire without worrying about finance, right? So those are ideas that are just coming out of my head right now. And what are some things that you can do to kind of attract them to consider an endowment plan or insurance or a savings plan or even an investment plan? So that's the idea behind the lead generation process. And you can follow up with them again after they've downloaded that ebook on 8 ways to retire without worrying about money. Is you can ask them a week later, how do you find the book? And how do you do that? You can use other forms of marketing tools, right? If before they download your ebook, you should have asked for their emails and maybe their name as well. And you can follow up with an email sequence to say like, how was the ebook? Did you find it helpful? What are some questions that you might have for me? And for those who respond to you, they are moving down the sales pipeline and they are showing more and more interest. And that's when you can share with them some of the things after you ask how's the book. You can ask them some of the things that are actionable steps that they can do, or you can recap certain things that you have shared in the book. All right. So then the third thing I want you to remember is after defining what is a lead generation and how lead generation is supposed to be, the third thing to remember is lead generation is like marriage. Okay, before someone purchases with you, they need to trust you, they need to like you, and they need to feel that it is the right decision to purchase with you. So a lot of times you would hear this that help people decide based on emotions. What are the pain points? Focus on the pain points. Those are emotional decisions. When people decide emotionally, they will figure out on their minds logically, why does this make sense? Why does purchasing with you make logical sense? All right, so people decide emotionally before they decide logically. So most of the time, you have to understand and you have to do this. You have to build trust before they decide to purchase with you unless you have a warm lead, a referral from a friend, and they know that their friend is already looking to purchase something. They want some form of an investment product. Then they already trust you because it's a referral. So that's a different scenario. All right. So let's look at the next thing. Okay. So which is the same parallel that I'm trying to draw. And if someone marries you, before they marry you, they need to get to know you, they need to fall in love with you, and they want to get married, right? But it's possible that someone also falls in love with you but may not want to get married, right? Because they may not be ready for marriage. So these are things that we need to understand in lead generation. Sometimes they trust you, they like you, but it's not the right time to buy. Or they may not be ready to buy for some reasons as well. Like they may have certain concerns, maybe this is not their priority and things like that. So answer those questions in the sales pipeline process to help them decide to buy with you. Okay, let's look at the next part. If we talk about lead generation, the easiest way to generate a lead is to collect some form of information for yourself, like name, email, maybe even a mobile of the person who might be interested in the topics that you want to share, and you usually share with people who are interested to buy your products before they buy, right? So one of the key things to understand is social media can come into place. And many people are actually using social media, but there is little to no reach on social media, and they're not using advertising spend. They're not ad spend. They're not doing any ad spends on social media. So I'll give you a ballpark here, which is currently how our ads fall into this range. All right. So with $100, we are reaching out to about 5,000 to 8,000 unique reach on Facebook and Instagram. Okay. Sometimes our ads does better. So that's what I call stretching our advertising dollar. So if you think about this number, you have to work through a funnel. So if I can reach 5,000 people with $100, how many people are going to download my ebook that I'm going to give away? Okay, so imagine if you don't offer a free ebook which has lesser commitment that they need to have up front. So imagine if you're asking for an appointment right away with $100, you're probably going to have less people respond to that ad. That's why having some form of a irresistible offer will help actually stretch your advertising dollar and have these people who are interested with your product and services, which will help you to move them down your sales pipeline. Eventually, when you call them, they sort of know you before you call them, right? So the second part I would like you to understand is, who is your best audience and customer? Is there a particular gender? Sometimes people are just advertising on social media to both gender because for them it's a best case scenario. But for me, I would prefer to advertise to a group of people who tend to decide to purchase with us. And in our case, most of the time, ladies do sign up for our courses more than guys, right? So sometimes we do have ads to kind of like target just female only and particular age groups, right? So for our age group, because our courses are relatable to people who are working adults, they are already in the workforce, so 25 to 45. And with this age group, you have to understand which platform do they use the most and where do they consume their content. Do they consume their content on Facebook? Do they consume on Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn? And what kind of content do they consume on those platforms? Do they consume video contents? Do they consume infographic contents? Do they consume article contents? Try to figure out, try to research, try to read up about customer personas, right? Do they have a similar interest? Try to find out about your customers, whether they have some form of a similar interest, they're interested in something, and you tend to see certain trends. All right, so that's something that you want to understand as you try to kind of like come up with a campaign to generate leads for your business, for yourself. Last point to how you can collect leads is understanding, besides understanding that social media is going to help you with $100, you can reach 5,000 people, and you're probably going to get like 50 click-throughs, 50 to 20 click-throughs, and out of this 50 to 100 click-throughs, not 20. So with $100, you can get 50 to 100 click-throughs. How many people are going to download? Most of the time, the conversion rate is about 10 to 30%. Sometimes you should get more if it's something that you have done really well. Your landing page tells them who you are, how this ebook is going to help them, what's going to be in this ebook, and what are some actionables they're going to learn by the end of this. People usually would fill in, and some people have very high conversion rates, almost 50 to 70%. All right, the last part you have to understand with social media, besides the gender that tend to be cheaper to reach out to, we do sometimes our ads do better for a male only audience, or when we do both male and female, sometimes female cost twice as much as men. So it really depends on the platform, whether Facebook or Instagram and so on. All right, the last thing that you need to understand is which platforms are you able to show up often enough. All right, is it Facebook? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Instagram? Is it YouTube? Okay, most of you, if you haven't done videos before, videos might be a challenge for you. You might not know how to do video editing. So ask yourself, which is the platform that you can show up most often, or are you able to invest in engaging someone to help you with the editing of videos, but you can shoot them, right? So this is very important because sometimes your audiences might be somewhere, but you are unable to show up often enough. So you want to explore what kind of formats you are able to share such that you can show up at least 5 times a week. For YouTube, you currently people are doing daily videos for some, 5 times a week video kind of thing. But honestly, if you ask me, 2 to 3 videos a week is more than enough. Some people are starting with 1 video a week, but because when you're just starting out, you're building a audience, and if you don't have enough content, you might need to kind of like plan a strategy out where you can at least upload 2 to 3 videos for the first 2 months. Next thing, say for example you have picked Instagram as your platform. The typical age group on Instagram currently is 18 to 35 years old. So ask yourself, which gender do you find easier to close? If you're an insurance agent and if you're a lady, sometimes you find it easier to close for guys or ladies, right? So ask yourself, what is the gender you find easier to close? Or whether you have no preference, then that's all right for you, right? So like I said, Instagram, Facebook, they give you an option to advertise to particular genders. So ask yourself whether you want to leverage on this feature that they have, okay? Plan a content strategy with a mixture of contents such as contents to educate and inform or contents to entertain. Okay, I usually tell people or my clients or my participants, you are either on a platform to educate and inform or you're there to entertain. Okay, entertain is going to be difficult for most of us, but we have to understand what social media marketing is about. Social media is about sociable, how sociable we are, and how can we relate to other people, relate to our customers' pain points, okay, in a sociable manner. Use a mixture of videos and graphics because your audiences might be more inclined to particular types of content, be it graphics or videos. Put yourself in your customer's shoes. What are they most worried about? What are your customers' greatest doubts before they purchase? Okay, ask yourself these things, and it like the ebook about 8 ways to generate or rather 8 ways to build enough retirement fund to retire without, you can shorten it. Okay, so this is just one idea, right, that I was sharing earlier, an ebook idea for your advertisement or your content strategy in general. So you don't need to only have one ebook to give away. You can have different types of ebook in your strategy, such that it will appeal to different people for your different products and services that you have, right? So an ebook, and you can launch an ad, you can tell people, you can create awareness about this ebook that you have created in your posts, and you can kind of like map out a strategy on how you're gonna share with people, likelihood through education, or informing them about this things that they need to know, okay, to retire gracefully without worries about money, okay. So next point, take our Instagram course for example. Okay, typical participants are aged between 30 to 45 years old. They are usually female business owners. If you look at some of our group photos, most of them are females who join our classes. Okay, there are guys, but just that it's a lesser ratio. So sometimes we, not always, like maybe 1 out of 3 to 4 ads, we try to advertise female only and see how it performs. Okay. We try to share common misconception, growth strategies, and ask yourself this: if I were to go to if I were to advertise about our Instagram course, where should I be advertising on? Should I be advertising on Instagram? Or should I actually be advertising on Facebook, YouTube, maybe LinkedIn even? Okay, so these are things to consider. I might be able to advertise on Instagram, just that probably people on Instagram are a little bit more savvy about Instagram as well. So it's probably going to cost us more to advertise about Instagram course on Instagram. How can you commit to this information? So for us, we share weekly videos on YouTube. Sometimes we post more than one video on YouTube. Partly because of maybe the contents that are relational to the topic that we were sharing. Okay, so we share group photos, we share reviews, share our trainer profile to help answer the doubt that our potential customers have. So try to share about these things on your social media profiles, right? Your photos of your clients, reviews, if it's a written review, preferably on Google or even on Facebook page, your Facebook business page, okay? And you can screenshot them, put them and link them to more reviews, right? Or you can take a photo together and put the review on either in the caption or even in the image as well, okay? Your profile, who you have helped, how long you have been in the industry, maybe even your vision, your mission as a insurance agent, as a financial advisor. Okay, you need to help people. You need to help answer each doubt that your potential customers have. That's the key thing on social media marketing and advertising. All right. Last but not least, okay, if you are gonna generate leads, you can use a few platforms to help you do that. You can use Google Forms. You can ask them questions. You can quiz them. Give away free ebook like what I suggested earlier. You can have a worksheet. You can design a worksheet in PDF format. It doesn't have to be an ebook. You can ask them some questions and then they calculate their points and towards their retirement goals. How much do they want to retire? How much money do they want every month for their retirement? Right? You can do events and talks. This is one of the things that I think is most effective for financial advisors, but many are not doing it yet. Okay, you can do webinar. You can automate the whole process as well. Although it's gonna cost you a little bit of money to automate it. Be it platforms that's gonna help you upsell or get you an appointment, right? You can do manually, but you probably need to also hire someone to set it up for you with WordPress or MailChimp, MailerLite, and so on. Okay, you can do lead gen. Remember, what you're asking for is not for an appointment. Okay, you can do that, but honestly, many people who will fill in, they are probably not interested because they do not know you yet. Okay, so I would suggest that you come up with a content strategy that's going to move people through your sales pipeline. Okay, check out MailChimp, check out MailerLite. They have amazing landing pages that's gonna help you kind of like create a web page without knowing coding, and it's called a landing page. So it's a very simple structure, but it's actually gonna help you with creating something for your lead ads, your lead ad forms, or your social media ads in general. All right, so that's all I have for you today. I hope that it gives you some perspective on what lead generation is about, what lead generation should be, and also give you some ideas on how you can do this moving forward. Okay, so if you like to check out some of our landing pages by MailChimp and MailerLite, I'm going to link them in the comment section in the description below. Okay, you can check those out. We created them on MailChimp and MailerLite. You can have a look at them. If you'd like to learn more about digital marketing, we have a series of courses, and these are some of the courses that we think are most relevant for insurance agents who are wanting to brand themselves on social media. They want to learn about email marketing. You want to learn about Facebook ads. Okay, we also have a course that's about chatbots. All right, so currently our courses are separated now. Facebook Ads Manager is one course and Facebook chatbot is another course altogether, because we have a lot of people writing to us that they just like to learn about chatbot, and Facebook, they just want to learn it separately as well. So we hear you, and those are some of the changes that we have recently done. Okay, so if you have any questions at all, remember to comment on them below. If this is the first time you're here, do remember to hit that subscribe button so that you receive notifications when we publish new videos like this. Thank you so much for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you at our next video, and I definitely look forward to seeing you at our workshop.